do in creative writing. She writes poetry and fiction. Rose Booker.
I also like My Little Ponies. So I kind of feel gypped that I don't get a pony. You know what, I actually have 4 ponies. All of them magical in my head. This is why I take therapy pills. I mean, no such thing. So I'm reading from bits and pieces of my non-edited thesis because thesis is painful. And also maybe a little thing I was jotting down because I was inspired. Like whenever I hear another poet read, I tend to jot down things because I'm like, finally I can think instead of watching things on Hulu all the time. I can actually write poems. So yeah, first from my thesis and then from like really rough poem. So this is Problems with Wet Cement. After James Hodge. Leave them exposed, without a tarp. Leave them sheltered under blue plastic. Either way, a raccoon carries itself over wet cement. Picture the black paws, sinking into the storm cloud gray binder, rising coated in granite, mud, or clean, protected from direct contact. There's trash cans to search, receptacles of compost, decay, food, and waste. The raccoon doesn't see the imprints of its hands. Tracks etched in cement, that's for the sun. Leave them wet long enough. Raccoons simply scurry on. This one must have come up empty in the park, where cigarette butts sprout faster than mushrooms underneath the shade of eucalyptus trees. It scampered through oncoming traffic, careening motorized carriages, and crouched by a discarded Jackie Chan poster, peeling off cardboard, the way paper curls when lit from beneath. Slow, progressing, golden ratio. We had pavements like that on the street I once lived on, in front of the garage where he cut and styled heads of hair that sat still as stone underneath his scissors, falling from them limp as if the curls had never been. Shit gets snappy, he said, snipping away split ends, damaged and hurt. He who was broad and threatening, who lived in the snow, had a talent for cutting across like Jackie Chan, an affinity for martial arts. You see, you have to split through the middle. Rat tail comb and scalp, then pull until you can see the hairline recede from the forehead. Nothing shattering happened. The raccoon didn't devour the print, nor try to hide itself in the shadow beside the rubbish bins. It moseyed home to home, past Christchurch below the fenceless bridges of the highway, and over wet cement at the other end. Though at such a speed it felt lethargic. By that I mean, it set me in time. Often I watch old martial arts videos, forgetting what to fight for. The stories threaded underneath our souls, or for the crowded rooms, the solid, undaunted stare of a wild animal. I wish I knew if he regretted anything the way no one thought he did. I recall his eyes staring me down, issuing a challenge. Never met. And if he stared long enough, they'd be eclipsed with clear water. And I picture if you examined the paws of that raccoon, you would see the tracks in wet cement of gray imprinted, and set and dried and crumbling over its skin. In order to accomplish that, you'd have to cage it, learn to feed a wild thing. That's that. And there's Dreaming While on Amtrak, 1998. Because Amtraks are boring, and my little mind likes to wander. 1998 has a special place in my heart. Lots of cool things happen there. Scalding white steam shoots out from each brass bison as they ran across the copper plains, hammering the metallic brass flat as a mirror. Each hoof a hammer, the iron earth, and anvil. Clang, 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 they pass pools of water and zinc, mountains of cast iron and steel, clouds of mercury and aluminum, trees of gold and silver. Water sprouted from lead springs, air rode platinum will-o-wisp. All the while the brass bison moved on, never stopping. even when they reach their birthing ground, a concrete building with not a soul around. See, when you're little, take notes of all your daydreams. They turn into poems when you're older and that get you graduated. So let's see. Tattoos. It's actually only 2 tattoos. Spoiler alert, they're dragons. Spoiler alert number 2. Dragons are going to be a big thing in this for the next couple of minutes. Tattoos. Black ink dragons stare out from dark mahogany skin, taunt above toned muscles, stretched larger when he lifted 50 pounds of little girl out of the ocean. Crystal spray flying with laughter towards the blue sky, white seagulls. Black ink dragons, shadows of claws stitched into each arm, with teeth sharper than a switchblade. Spade-tipped tails tracing arch of falling black curls drenched with salt water, falling from 2 brown horns. Let's see. Maybe this one. I'm debating whether or not I'm going to read some of them because I'm like, edits happening now. This one's fish bones. Always also on the note of taking notes, because I feel like I'm in tutoring mode right now. When you're taking notes, listen to your parents because they say really strange things. And so this actual poem came from my mom, who was talking about fish bones, like she was saying a metaphor that she was translating from Tagalog, and it was a strange metaphor. She was saying like how she felt like when she put down her emotions or actually spoke about them, that fish bone, it felt like removing fish bones from her throat and her lungs and her chest. And I was like, I never heard that. You're getting a poem about this. People are going to know about you. And so, here we go. We'll see this out. Fish bones. Nanai is writing down fish bones. With a ballpoint pen, she plucks each translucent dagger out, dripping with blood turned black. Some are caught in the fibers of her voice, sticking to words lost in time or to words foreign, strange. She inks them out. Muffling cries, shaking, she places one after another onto a yellow notepad, thin as morning bell. The bones bleed through each page, into the Pacific Ocean, into tap water, into baby formulas, into the eyes of others whose chests are burdened with fish bones. I like that image. I'm going to doodle that one day. So, let's see. How much time do I have? I'm good?
Yeah.
Getting more stuff, more. Let's see. I'm always wary about reading this one, but I like reading this one. So I'm going to read it anyway. This is called Prayer to Dragons, because it's after Carmen Jimenez Smith, who wrote about fairies, and I was like, fairies and dragons are both mythical creatures, and I can totally write about them in poems, because literary critics be damned, dragons are awesome. Dragons, fly me out of these night terrors. Free me from these screaming episodes. Snatch me from the sanity at the hands of my benefactors. Plant me anywhere. Carry me to the burning bush. Dragons, I offered up alms for eternity. Will the clergy, the Pope, the Vatican, Bush know what to pray for? Dragons, my personal liabilities are best assessed under the rays of a dying sun. Cowardice, skepticism, sloth. Dragons, this revolution of bodies overwhelms me. No doors appear before me. Surviving in fantasy, cherishing it. I observe knowledge from the inexplicable. Dragons, blow hot smog upon my beast. Make me a beast like you. Dragons, let's rip this universe asunder, bit by bit, free it from luck, work, rule, and restraint. Bits have names like Gloria and dragons, you have my sympathy. Dragons, I'll wear the number. I'll fall, fall, fall. I'll go all revelations on you. And just you. Dragons, there's nothing else but the cool side of a pillow. A loaded gun. That's my prayer to dragons. It's really cool and fierce. Let's see. I kind of feel like doing an improv piece because I always carry around my Nintendo DS now because video games are really cool, and I realize that since it's such a big part of my life, I should write a poem about it. But writing about video games is something really strange because it's like it's mathematical, yet it's play, yet it's like this crazy thing where you can play and kill zombies all the time, and you can carry it around with you, and it's a computer. It's awesome, and I'm rambling, but that's okay. So this is kind of like a pre-write of a poem. Me and my Nintendo. When I'm awake, I dive into a pixelated world where an Italian-American plumber chases a blonde princess through fields of psychedelic polka-dotted mushrooms. Running past me, I shout out to him, "She doesn't like you, dude! Get over it!" And then he pops a mushroom into his mouth, grows huge, and starts stomping on Koopas. Poor motherfucking Koopas. I'm walking now over to Zelda, asking, "You put on the Sheik mask and pretend that you need Link to save you. Quit being needy, he already likes you." And she still puts on the mask, pretends to be not who she is. I'm like, okay, fine. I end up getting stuck somewhere in the universe near Metroid. I see what's going on. I see her kicking ass, taking names, and I'm like, yes! This is what I'm all about. And all of a sudden, I am stuck among images of her in positions that shouldn't be. Stop it, fanboys! She's in the suit for a reason! You're making yourself look sad! This is why geeks don't get laid! Stop it! Making us look bad! So I keep going, and I keep going, looking, and I'm in Pokemon. I'm in the land of Pokemon, where these dragons and all these cool things happen. And I think to myself, yeah, this is kind of cool. This is kind of cool. Keto would have a shit storm, but that's okay. Okay, I'm now catching all these monsters with extreme powers. And then all of a sudden, narrative enters in. I'm like, what? Not a little narrative. You're not supposed to be here. I'm going to catch monsters and beat up because I'm now 10. 10-year-old with the power of an atom bomb in its pockets. That's so meta. It doesn't need narrative. Go away, narrative. But Nintendo, the great god of the world I entered in, says that it has to have narrative, so they put in a spiky teenager, who's now my rival, who then we go on adventures with. All the while, I'm just going to be like, where's my Pikachu? Dude, just give me my Pikachu. I end up ignoring some of the monsters, ignoring things that are in 3D, but Nintendo tries to push it onto us. Now with Street Pass, Wii Universe, and all this stuff, they want us to socialize. They want us to. But we know the truth. We'll go back into our pixelated worlds, imagine Zelda, hopefully have Metroid Online and be something better than it was, and have World of Warcraft on play. Hopefully, one day. One day.